Hi, my name is Chris. Today we're going to do a Sudoku at the extreme level on my iPad. Let's get into it. Okay, so for people that have seen me before, what I generally do is put the notes in that I need to. We can see here I had a 1 and a 2, 3 can't be there because of that, 4 can only be in the top and bottom, 5, 6 can only be on that side because of the 6 can't be across there and 6 can't be up there. 7 can be these 3 cells here because of that 7. 8 can be the outside 2 columns and 9 can only be there. Okay. Alright, so I basically just go around the clock face in terms of doing the boxes. It's just how I've done it. I think it's just a force of habit. Let me know what you would do differently in the comments, and let's see if we can all improve our skills in terms of Sudoku. Always happy not about having a box that is completely empty, but we've got some numbers here. So let's start with this. So the 3, 7, 8 are there alone, right? So for whatever reason, the 9, 4, 6 weren't in this, so that's going to be 9, 4, 6, 9, 4, 6, 9, 4, 6. So, and because of the 6, 9 there, that is a 4, right? Over here is a 6 and 9 only, so we'll do some cleanup. That's an 8 out, and that's a 3 and 8 out. So there's your 6 and 9, which means I should be able to figure out this row for the rest of it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so then what that means to me is that so we've done the 1, 2, 3. So 3 is at the lower end, 4 is on top, and by the way that's not a 3. 4 is those two. 5 is those two, so it's not that one. So I made a mistake there. That can't be a 2. 6 can be top and bottom, but not the right-hand column. 7, top and bottom, one of those 6. 8, same as the 7, top and bottom. And 9. So all the outside squares. Did I do 6? Yes, I did. Okay. So 1. I had carbonara for dinner tonight, and a little bit of peppers just come out of has come loose in one of my teeth, and my mouth's burning a bit. Anyway, we'll keep going. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 can be any of them. 8 and 9 is there. So 1 can be all of that. 4 can be those two. 5's there. 6, 7. I never quite know the pace of what to explain. So there's 2 7s are there, so that can only be the 7 there. Let me know if I'm too slow at explaining and should just do it, or whether you want more explanation. And we'll see if we can get that balance right for how we actually do this. So 1 can be all of them. 2 can be these ones. So 3 can only be that and that. Reason being is there's a 3 there, and I have made a complete jackass of myself. That should be a 3 on that side. So 3 and 3 means it's only there. 4's already there. 5 can be, oops, not that one. Should have been that one. Can only be there. 6 can be there. 7's there. 8 can be those 4, and 9 can be those 4. Okay, 1 can be the outside 2 columns. 2 can be these here. 3, 4 can only be that one there. So that can't be a 4. Let's have a look at 4. Okay, so because of the 4 can't be in that one and it can't be there, that leaves that one there. So that's a 4. That can leave that row there. It can't be a 4 because it's already a number. Can't be a 4 because that. So that is actually a 4 there. What we've also got is because of that, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. That leaves that as a corner piece and the 4 is there. Okay. We'll go back to it. 5 can only be those two. 6 can be these 4. Here, 7, 8 and 9 can be these 4. So what's interesting to me is that this is telling me that this is 1, 5, 3 only. Right? So 3 can't be there. That could be a 7 and 8 at the moment. So we'll come back to that. So if we're telling me that's a 3, that means that can't be a 3 and that can't be a 3. Is there anything else? No. So we will go ahead. If 1 can't be there, so 1 has to be on that side, and I said there was nothing else, and there's the 1s. So 1 is on that side. 2 can be in these 5 boxes. 3 obviously can't be there, but it can be in these ones. 4 is in the same ones as the 3. 5, 6, 7 can be here, here is here as well. 8 can be on those ones, and 9's already there. So let's do 1. So we've got only one box that's not vacant, which is with the 3. So 1 can be in all the boxes, or one of the boxes. 2 can be the same as a 1's at this stage. 3 is already there. 4 can only be in one of those 2. 5 can be in one of these 3, mainly because of that 5 and that 5. 6 can only be in that box, so it cannot be in this column because of that 6. Sorry, that's a row. Cannot be in this row because that's a 6. Can't be in this column because that's a 6. So that leaves only one box, which is that one there, 6. Okay, we've got that there, but I'm going to finish off all of my notes before I start because I want to check it. 8 can be in any of the 5 boxes now, and 9 can be in one of these 2. So let's check this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that is correct for the 1. What we now have in terms of this is the 4 and 7 can only be in these 2 here because that's a 2 and 8. So we'll get rid of the 2 and 8, 2 and 8. We can then get rid of the 7s out of here. And is there any 4s? No, that looks like that's right. We can also get rid of the 2 and 8 from these boxes because we know that that's a double and that can't be anything else. Just seeing here, out of my notes, that 6 is cleared. So let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that is correct, 6. All right. What else have we got that we can see at the moment? The 6s are the 6 here. The 6 can means because of those 2 it can only be in that column, and because of that 6 there and that 4, that is a 6 there, which is done me. Remember, I made that setting that was 6 and 9 because of that 6 there. That's a 9 and that's a 6. So this is here, is it saying it's a 2 on its own? Let's see. Do we see a 1? We don't see a 1. Why do we not see a 1? For what reason did I decide that couldn't be a 1? Okay, so I'm just a bit skeptical of that at the moment because they could be a 1. Not sure why I don't think that's a 1, because that's a 7 and 8. Because that 8, 7, that's 7, 8, so that can't be a 1, which means that can't, that's a 1. So there's my 1. So that 1's come out there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the 2 is correct. Sorry, I had to check my logic because I didn't know. So we've done the check on that logic, so that's correct. What we now have here is we have a 4 here on its own. So let's do it. 1, which is one of those two. 2, 3. So remember 3's over there, so there's 3's in there. 4, 5 is over there. 6, 7, 8, 9. So that is correct. Okay. What else do we have? 1, 8, 3, 7, 3, 7, 8, 4, 7. So what we have here is we have a 1, 2, 8, 1, 2, 8, 1, 7, 8, and 7, 8. So that is a quadruple that takes it. So that 7 has to be a 4, and that one has to be a 3 to leave the quadruple that we found as a pattern. If I do up there, that becomes a 7, that becomes an 8, that becomes a 3, that there becomes a 7 because it was only 7 and 8, 6, 9, 2 and 4, but that's 4's there, so 2 and 4. 7 is the only one that could be in that column there. What else have we got? 1, 8, 2, 1, 2, 5, 7. Let's have a look at that 9 there. So 9, 9, 9. So 9 can only be in that column, so that's a 9, which leaves that one as a 9. 1 and 7 means that's got to be an 8 because it can't be a 1. 6 and 9, because of that 9 there, that's become a 6 and that's a 9. We know that that's there. So this can be 1 and 3 here. The reason that this isn't a 1 is because of that there. So 3 and 1. Can't be a 3 there, so that's a 5 and that's a 3. So that finishes that column off. Up here we've got a 7 on its own. Where's the 1 and 8? So the 8's there and the 1 can only be in there, so it can't be there, so that's a 7. 1 and 8's right, so that's got to be a 2 and that's got to be a 7. We have 7 of the 7th, and we know that that's in that row. 7 can be in there or there because that's full. That's a 7, which means that's a 7. That for Sudoku was a 1. For Sudoku it's across that line, that's a 6. Leaves 5 and 9. 3 and 8 can't be an 8 there, so that's a 3. That's an 8. We have also a 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So definitely a 1. We know that this is 1 up here because that's the only one left, which leaves 5 and 8 in here for that column. Can't be a 5, so that's an 8 and that's a 5. We can see that this is a 2 and 3 left for this box to be a Sudoku. 2 and 3 there, but there's a 3 there, so that's definitely going to be a 3. That's going to be a 2. 4, we've got a 2 over here into there. That leaves us with 8, 2, so that means that 2 on its own must be correct. For Sudoku across there, that must be a 1. That must be a 5. That must be an 8. By rules of Sudoku, that must be a 1 because you've got to have 1 through 9 as a number. The 1 is there, so that's going to be a 1, which leaves that there for the rule of Sudoku. 5 in there, 9 in there, 8, 5 and 9. Alright, we solved that killer Sudoku in just on 14 minutes. As you can see, I don't use notes. That's for my own enjoyment and all that sort of stuff. If the videos aren't making sense because I'm not using the notes, actually, disregard all of that. This was a Sudoku, so I do use copious amounts of notes. So you can see that I use notes which are significantly different to most people who don't use the notes as much as I do. But with an iPad, you do have limited ways of actually seeing your patterns. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. We'll leave it there. Bye for now.